this is how you do a bar hip pull and a sledgehammer swing. And the bar hip pull is one of our progressions towards a bar muscle up. And I'll give you options to scale this down if you're not able to do this first one. Don't worry about it. Got other options for you. And if you don't have a sledgehammer set up, got options for that as well if you don't have that. Don't worry about it. So this bar hip pull, what you're going to do is you're going to try to explosively raise your hips to the bar using good technique. So starting off, you get a little bit of swing into it. So you come back behind the bar, jump into it a little bit, swing forward. Next, you would think about pulling back with straight arms. Back with straight arms into this hollow body sort of position. Pulling back with straight arms to here. Next, you think about bringing the toes up towards the bar. So swinging into it, pulling back straight arms, toes up towards the bar. Here. Next, you would explosively lift the hips up to the bar. So once you get those toes up, then we push the feet down, boom, and hips up towards the bar. So you swing into it, toes up, boom, hips up. Pulling back with straight arms, toes up, hips up. And you can cycle through these pretty quickly. And you can see how that can turn into a bar muscle up. The only thing that's left is to turn up over the bar. Now those are pretty difficult. To scale those down, I would get a pair of rings here, or you can use a suspension trainer like a TRX, or you could use a bar like in a squat rack. But I really prefer the rings here. Really like the rings. But you would set up a bench here or a box, something to put your feet up on. You set the rings or the bar in the rack to a height where you're still coming down like you're hanging from the bar. So you don't want to set the bar or the rings too low where you're here and you're hanging already and your butt's hitting the ground. You want it to be coming back to this position. But you set the feet up on the bar, bring the hips up, you still pull down with the straight arms, come hips up, and big, boom, explosive pull up to here. Still think about trying to get that straight arm pull down and pulling down to maybe about bottom of the ribs, sternum level, maybe belly button level. But feet up, pulling down with straight arms, boom, big hip up, returning back to that hang, boom, hang, boom, big hips up. That is our bar hip pull with scaling options. And then you would come over for the sledgehammer swing. And again, if you don't have this set up, that is perfectly fine. I'll give you other options for this. But get yourself that sledgehammer, get you something to hit. But as far as swinging a hammer, you hold with the bottom hand down here, top hand will hold up towards the head of the hammer, and as you swing, the hand slides down to the other hand. It'll slide down here. And you use the whole body for this. You'll squat down on it, you use the abs, use the legs some, but here, bringing it back over, swing through, use the whole body. I usually complete all of my reps on one side before moving to the other side. And usually you got one side that's good and one side that's not so good, so you gotta kind of practice up, get both of those sides. Now, if you don't have the hammer set up, then you will do med ball slams, kind of a rotational med ball slam. You will do the same motion that you did kind of for that sledgehammer swing, bring it around, and slam here. And that should be accessible to most people. And that is your bar hip pull and your sledgehammer swing.